Season's greetings to our viewers, and as we come to the end of a very forgetful 2020, I'm glad that my final review for this year is a luxury sedan and not another SUV. This year is the new Audi A4. Now this isn't a whole generation change, in fact it's a facelift. But even then there's plenty new in it. So let's take a look. The Audi A4 has always boasted a very subtle design language, and even now it isn't as dynamic as the C-Class or even the 3 Series. But even then, it's elegance personified. Up front, you now get redesigned LED headlights that look really cool. The best part are the DRLs that are now split up and give it an aggressive look. You also get a new single frame grille along with wide air inlets that really give the new A4 an imposing look from the front. On the sides, you get these dynamic 5-spoke 17-inch alloy wheels, and along with the broad wings and the striking sill trim, the new A4 gets a very sporty silhouette. At the rear, the new taillights get a similar split treatment to match the headlights. A thin chrome strip connects the taillights, but what really adds character is the offset diffuser area along with the twin trapezoidal exhaust tips. Overall, the new A4's design is a good combination of sporty and elegance, and will be liked by those who want a luxury car but don't want the flashiness that usually comes with it. Audi knows how to make great interiors, and the insides of the A4 are no different. The dashboard is a no-fuss layout with clean horizontal lines. It's also an ergonomic delight with everything falling at hand with ease. The feel-good factor is great thanks to the excellent build quality, while the piano black finish along with leather and leatherette upholstery adds to the luxury appeal. Now talking about the front seats, both are powered, but the driver also gets a memory function. Now talking about the seats itself, they're very comfortable and they cocoon you well, and you've got support in all the right areas. What you also get is a very clear view of the road ahead, and what helps further are these thin A-pillars which don't obstruct the view at all. Now let's check out the rear bench. Getting into the back seats, ingress-egress isn't the best, especially if you have a creaky back or if you're a little weak in the knees. However, once in, legroom is not an issue at all, and if you're considering the A4 as a chauffeur-driven choice, there should be no problem at all. The problem, however, will arise when you have to seat a third passenger on the back bench. Seating 3 people abreast will be a tight fit, and the passenger sitting in the middle will have to deal with a harder backrest and somewhat uncomfortable seat scope, and he also has to deal with this high transmission tunnel and the rear aircon vents, so it's not really a very comfortable place to be. The Audi A4 then is at best a comfortable 4-seater and an emergency only 5-seater. Coming to the boot space, at 460 litres, it is enough to swallow a weekend's luggage and more. The A4 also comes loaded with features. The most important though is the new touchscreen MMI system. You get a range of connectivity options, and the large 10.1-inch high-resolution screen looks and feels absolutely smashing. The highlight of the system is that the MMI search is based on free text input, and the natural language voice control makes it easy for the system to understand phrases used in everyday speech. You also get a sunroof, 3-zone climate control, park assist, Audi virtual cockpit, ambient lighting, phone box with wireless charging, comfort key for easy access, gesture-based boot lid opening, and more. Now let's talk about the engine and performance. Powering the new A4 is a new 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine, and no, you don't get a diesel. The engine makes 190 bhp and 320 Newton meters of torque. Now compared to this, the Mercedes-Benz C200 makes 200 bhp and 300 Newton meters of torque, while the BMW 330i is on a different level altogether. Now this Audi A4 is also front wheel drive, so no quattro here, while the gearbox duties are handled by a 7-speed S-tronic gearbox, which is basically a twin clutch gearbox. Frankly, with just 190 bhp on tap, we expected the performance to be a little timid. But surprise, surprise! The A4 really impressed us with the urgency of its motor. Response even to part throttle is immediate and there is no lag whatsoever. Switching the drive mode to dynamic makes the response even crisper and one never feels short on performance. The twin clutch gearbox harnesses all those 190 horses so well that it even makes up for the lack of a few horses. Putting some numbers into the picture, Audi claims the A4 will hit 100 km per hour in 7.3 seconds and go on to hit a top speed of 241 km per hour, which is pretty impressive. And it stops just as well too. Braking is very strong and progressive as well, which inspires plenty of confidence. Power delivery as expected is very linear, and that fat wad of torque means overtaking happens in the blink of an eye. Summing up the performance in one word, it's effortless. Now talking about ride and handling, the new A4 is set up for a comfortable ride, and the specs also mention that the A4 for India comes with a comfort tuned heavy duty suspension. But does it work? It works like an absolute charm. The ride quality is just phenomenal and it's actually better than some of our compact SUVs. The way the A4 pummels irregularities into submission is just fantastic. What also helps are the 50 profile tires that help absorbing the bad stuff even more. With the soft suspension setup, one might think that the new A4 will be a little roly-poly around the corners. Well, there is some body roll, but even then the A4 feels quite composed when dialed into a corner. The steering feels direct enough and weighs up nicely too. Of course, it's no sports car and will not match up to say a 330i, but the A4 is right up there when you talk about a balanced ride and handling setup. With the new Audi A3 yet to be launched, the new A4 will be the entry ticket into Audi's sedan universe once it's launched on 5th January. The A4 will be launched in two variants, the Premium Plus and Technology, and we expect prices to start at around 40 lakhs ex-showroom. The new Audi A4 might not have the most arresting looks in its segment or be the most spacious, but where it makes ground is with its well-built interiors, peppy performance and best-in-class ride and handling package. So if you're in the market for an entry-level luxury sedan and unassuming is your middle name, the new Audi A4 makes for an ideal choice.